Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Battlefield Play4Free. Today I am playing Omen with Jeddardies. Did he just suicide bomb? I don't see him anywhere. Anywho. We are and I have the Sega 12, I believe is what they call it. Forgive me if I get it wrong. I probably have a lot of wrong. And I've been recording a bunch of episodes. Okay. And anyways, we are, so last episode I was talking about the weather here, sort of how the weather is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I was also wanting to talk how Vintage Beef just just posted an episode where they pranked Adlington because he wants to become he just emigrated, not emigrated, but he moved from Britain? England? I don't... Dude, enough with the helis. Like, really. Those are really pissing me off. That's just the nice way of saying it. I'm sorry. Excuse my French. But really. They're just being absolute... arses. As the Irish would say. Why are you such an arse? But, anywho, yeah. Oh, hello there. I don't really want to pick up those helicopters. There's just too much of them. So, yeah. They're a really big thing, actually. I don't even deal with them anymore. I just, like, let them kill me. I'm zeroing through at the bottom. Oh, there we go. But anywho, I don't think that was a friend. I'm just gonna put that out there. But yeah. So they said stereotypical was their name of it. And you know, a lot of the things they did were really stereotypical. Some of it was true, not all of it. Mukbangs, I rarely hear of it. I've heard of it sometimes, but not like. It's not a huge thing here in Canada. It's like something you could probably go out to a country fair and maybe get it as a teaser or something, but you know, it's not like a true Canadian moment, you know what I mean? Like it's a false Canadian statement. Come on. And so, a lot of, you know, so like the Tim Hortons at every corner. It's pretty close. Mostly would be more correctly saying, most likely be saying. There's more like one at every major corner, because like I don't have one on my little street. But you know, if you're downtown, if I went downtown, I could probably count 5 or 6 in a couple square block area. They're not hard to find, you know. I've seen a couple, like they're like I don't know. This might be a thing in like a myth about the States as well, but you know. There's so many like fast food restaurants. You find one McDonald's on every block or something. You know, like it's not like that. You know, we'll see as McDonald's have influenced our they're a good chunk of our city blocks as well too. So you know, it's not just. I think these bunch of people I'm playing with right now are not the type of people you want to mess with vehicles and such. So I'm going to leave them. Haha! Sucker. So yeah, some other things like beer mugs. I mean, Canadians do like their beer. Don't get me wrong, but you know, Americans also have this thing for being big beer lovers, and the Germans. We probably got a lot of it from the Germans ourselves, because the German, we have been heavily influenced by the German. Well, not heavily, but you know, there's influences because they immigrated in the earlier centuries. So, you know, we do have influences of German descent throughout Canada, actually. To say the least, though, like, we don't have a lot of, we have a lot of diversity of people here in Canada. Like, there's a fair amount of people, multicultural, and lots. You know, it's not always just been now with all these recent things. It's not been just now. It's been a lot since Canada started. Like, actually, considering Canada, technically, most of our population are immigrants of descent, or some immigrant descent, because, you know, the British came type idea. Like, the British came over, and so they could be considered immigrants. Our First Nation, not like the first people who lived here, were more like, well, they're you could call them a minority almost. Not to, you know, ruffle any feathers or anything. They're not the heavily top. They're a number of them, but you know, it's not the majority of people who live in Canada are First Nation. And then, you know, if you go, and it also depends, like, influences of, like, in Quebec, per se, you know, you're gonna find a lot of influences that are not anywhere close to being somewhere, say, like, Alberta or Saskatchewan. Like, the French population in Saskatchewan is a lot, not Saskatchewan, but, you know, in, like, it's more or less heavier populated in, say, Quebec than, you know, Alberta, Saskatchewan, where we do have francophone communities in Canada, so don't, you know, it's not just Quebec who has the French, but, and then, so a couple of their, now, I was so, you know, influenced, I guess you could call it, but by the vintage beef and Canada, that I'm planning on starting up a series, and I might record after this round because I'm not doing that great. But anyways, I'm planning on making a old Canada world-ish thing. You know, it's gotta be cheeky like what they did, but I want to take some of the myths out of it. I probably will never hit them down there. I can hit you though, suckers. Kill assist, suckers. Let's try checking out RPG way over there. See if that does anything. Oh, that was almost a hit too. Jump. Good thing our parachute works. Yeah. I'm getting sniped. I know. I see him. I see them. I see them. You can't get me because I'm running. Sucker. I see you. Okay, I got popped. Anywho, that was a pretty good shot too. He's not a newbie, but he got sniped. So, anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna have to call the episode quits because of our sucker. Because it's almost done. It's unfortunate to be done, but you know, all good things must come to an end. I'm saying lots of quotes today. That's weird to me. I don't really like those. That's a helicopter. No, I don't want to die because of you, helicopter.